Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be chatting about a bunch of new beauty launches. It has been a hot minute since I have filmed one of these videos and there is so much launching right now that I want to talk about. To be honest, I may need to split this up into two videos because there is so much I want to talk about. I'm thinking I may film like an additional anti-haul just to talk about a few things that I'm particularly like, but why though? So if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would recommend clicking that button and also probably turning on notifications because I have not had any remotely consistent upload schedule for I was gonna say the last couple months, but really all of 2020. It's been a little crazy. So if you wanna make sure that you don't miss my other uploads, I would click that notification bell so that way you'll know exactly when my videos go live. With that being said, I'm sure this video is going to be long, so let me stop rambling. Let's get into the new beauty launches. So I feel like July has been the month for influencer brands and influencer collabs. There have been a ton, I feel like, of exciting launches that have happened within the last couple of days, last couple of weeks or so. So let's talk about them. So first, Jen Loves Reviews is doing her first beauty collab. She did do a candle collab last year, but her first makeup collab that she's doing is with Ofra Cosmetics, and they are launching the Metamorphosis Trio. So this is essentially a trio of liquid lipsticks that are designed for you to be able to mix them with other lipsticks in your collection to get a shade that better suits your preferences. So if, for example, you are a beauty subscription box customer and you have a drawer full of liquid lipsticks that you've gotten in your subscription boxes that you know you never wear, this trio can basically turn those shades, transform them, morph them, if you will, into a shade that maybe is more wearable for you. So there is a really light, very pale beigey nude, then there is kind of a more mid-toned shade, and then there is a dark chocolatey brown shade. So whether you want to lighten or deepen or just make more neutral a particular shade, you can kind of do a little cocktail on your lips using this trio and basically maybe get more use out of your existing lip collection, which I think is a really, really cool idea. And I know that this is something Jen has been doing regularly. I know on her Periscope, she'll get ready on camera and she is frequently mixing lipsticks and creating her own custom shades. So I think this is a perfect collab for her, 100% makes sense. Now, the set retails for $50, or you can purchase any of the shades individually for $20, which I think is not a bad price point. It's pretty on par for, your high-end brands. So I think if you are someone that would benefit from having these types of liquid lipsticks in your collection, it definitely would be worth checking out. It just launched on July 29th, which was National Lipstick Day. So I believe it should still be available, and I believe it's only available on the Ofra website. Now, I am so happy for Jen, and I wish her all the success with this collab because Jen is just a gem. She is so well-informed and researched and thoughtful in all of the content that she creates. She's just a really genuine, down-to-earth person. I got to meet her at Ipsy Live back in the fall, and she's the real deal. She's great. So I am really, really happy for her, and I really hope the collab does well. That being said, this is my deal, and I feel like this happens to me a lot with influencer collabs, and I would love to know if there are other people out there that feel the same way. I'm a lazy person when it comes to doing my lips, especially if I have to touch up throughout the day. I'm kind of like a one and done lip product person. Lately, I've been getting a little more fancy and using lip liners with a lip gloss on top, and 2 products is kind of a lot for me. But I've never been someone that mixes my lipsticks or does a ton of lip combos or uses 4 products on my lips at once. It's just not my preference in how I wear my makeup. So if this was a bundle that was being sold by Ofra and it wasn't a collab, I wouldn't be interested in purchasing it just because I don't think it would make sense for my personal makeup collection. I am a lip product hoarder. I have a lot of liquid lipsticks and lip glosses, etc. So I have been trying to be thoughtful about not buying too many more because I feel like I already kind of have too much. So that's part of it. And also, I don't love the Ofra liquid lipstick formula. I don't think it's bad. It's relatively comfortable for a matte liquid lipstick. It's just, for whatever reason, not one that I've ever been like, ooh, yeah, that's one of my personal favorites. So for me, this is a purchase that I don't think would make sense. But as a member of the community, I then feel guilty because I want to support Jen because she is amazing. And of course, like, she deserves all the success in the world. So I would love to know where you guys fall on the, like, being a smart consumer versus, like, being a good, supportive person in the community. Like, which one weighs out? Do you buy the collab just to buy it, or do you not buy it if you know that you're not going to use it? Moving on, another collab that is also very exciting, and at this point I think is already sold out, and I don't know if you can get it anymore, but RawBeautyKristi collab with Pure. This is also her first makeup collab, which is so exciting, and I think that, was it like the Pure and BoxyCharm trip was her first ever influencer brand trip as well, so I feel like it's really nice, and it makes sense to me that Pure would be the first brand that she collabed with. So she launched a dual-sided eyeshadow palette. So the palette in total has 18 shades, 9 on each side. And then she also launched some false lashes, which the Pure falsies are actually really nice. And I've personally never had a problem with Pure's eyeshadow formula either. I know not everybody loves it, but the palettes that I've gotten in BoxyCharm, I've thought have been pretty decent. So I think this was a great idea for a collab. It was very Kristi. There's a neutral side and a colorful side. All of the shades were named after like little inside jokes and isms of her. Like, so if you've been watching her channel, if you are one of her like ride or die subscribers, pretty much everything in that palette will make you smile or make you laugh because you'll kind of like know the story behind it. And she also drew like all the artwork for the actual palette itself, which I think is so awesome. She is so freaking talented. Like, can we please just talk about that for a moment? Her makeup skills are absolutely on point. I feel like she is so humble in the way that she carries herself and talks about herself because she really is so talented. But she also just seems like just the most, again, real, down-to-earth person. Like, I would love to hang out with Kristi in real life because I feel like she would just be the best. So from what I've seen of swatches and reviews of this palette, it does seem like it performs really beautifully. It's a mostly matte palette. Each of the sides only has like one shimmer shade, but all the mattes seem formulated really smooth with really good intense pigmentation. People have been creating some beautiful looks with the palette. And I feel like the colors that she chose were a little bit more unique. They weren't, especially on the bright side, like quite your standard run-of-the-mill colorful bright shades, which I think is awesome. And that is honestly probably why, on top of the fact that we all love Kristi, that it sold out so quickly. I know there was a little bit of drama with the launch and the Pure website. There were a lot of issues with it, but then she did do like a pre-order second round on like a Shopify separate website. So I think that anybody that wasn't able to get the palette in the first initial launch could have put in a pre-order for the second launch. So hopefully everybody that wanted to get the palette was able to get it. Now, I personally did not receive it in PR. I don't get PR from Pure, and I did not manage to be able to pick it up. Honestly, a lot of it is just that my life has been really crazy with the puppy, and knowing that there was like a short window of time to go on and order it, like I really just wasn't thinking about it. I don't know that I would have necessarily gotten a ton of use out of the palette. I feel like the neutral side, you know, did have shades that you could kind of wear every day. I probably would have favored that side over the colorful side just because I feel like I haven't been wearing colorful looks quite as often this year. But yeah, again, I think if I saw the palette on a shelf and I didn't know that Kristi was attached to it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Like, it wouldn't have been something that spoke to me. But because I know that it's Kristi's palette, that does make me kind of want it a little bit. So I don't know if I will not have the opportunity to get it if it's just like sold out completely now, or if Pure is going to do one of those things that a lot of brands do and, you know, do another launch or another restock that they said they weren't going to do. So if I get it, great. If I don't, I'm okay with that. But either way, I'm really, really happy for Kristi, and I'm really glad that, you know, overall the launch went really well and so many people are loving it. And then there are some really exciting new influencer brand launches that I want to talk about. And I think what's even more exciting is that they're not all makeup brands, which honestly is like really refreshing to me. Not that I don't love makeup, but there are other things I also enjoy. And knowing how I've been feeling about a lot of these influencer makeup collabs and knowing how much makeup I have and trying to be more thoughtful about my makeup purchases, I feel like it's nice to have the option to support somebody in like a different part of my life. So the first new brand that we're seeing is Forever Mood by Jackie Aina. And let me tell you, when I saw that her brand was going to launch with candles, my heart like skipped a beat. I was so excited because I am such a candle person. I'm a very sensorial individual. I love food. I love things that smell good. So like candles are an experience for me. I really enjoy burning them. And I love beautiful candles, especially that I can like continue to use the vessel. Like this one here is a candle that, was a candle from Rifle Paper Company that I got a few years ago, and I burned the whole thing, and now I can use the vessel to hold makeup brushes. So I really, really just enjoy them. I feel like they are a really nice investment. And over the past couple of years, I've found myself kind of moving away from like the Bath and Body Works type candles and moving more into indie higher end candles that are made with cleaner ingredients. And that is exactly what Jackie is doing with Forever Mood. So all of the candles that she's launching are made with 100% coconut soy wax. They have all 100% cotton wicks. So there's no paraffin. There's nothing that's going to burn into your air that's going to be toxic that you're going to be breathing in. They should be more safe for you to use around your little kids, your pets, etc., which is kind of one of the concerns about like the Bath and Body Works type candles. They're kind of known for being less clean and not quite as good for your health to be burning and breathing in all day. So there are 4 different scents available of her candles, and let me tell you guys, all of them sound freaking incredible. Like just the most delicious. Like I want to smell these so bad. So first you have Left on Red, which I think is just hilarious. Jackie is just so funny. Side note, by the way, like I love Jackie. I love her personality. She just cracks me up nonstop. And I feel like all of the names she chose for her candles are like perfect and very her. So anyway, Left on Red, it has notes of coconut milk, tropical fruit, coconut, and caramel. And it smells like vanilla, nuts, coconut milk, and heavy cream. Like seriously though, does that not sound like absolutely divine? Like I said, I'm a foodie and I have the worst sweet tooth ever. Like I have a problem with sugar. So that to me sounds like 100% up my alley, like would burn right now. Then the next scent is Matcha Business, and that has notes of hazelnut coffee, almond milk, honey, and lavender. And it smells like coffee, vanilla beans, a hazelnut frap, and lavender. Again, just like so good. All of those things. I love all of those things. So to me, like, that sounds divine. Then next we have Cuffing Season, which has notes of jasmine, mineral citrus, white cedar, and salty lemon. And this one smells floral, zesty, and citrusy. And I do remember Jackie describing this as kind of the most neutral of all of the scents. So I think this is the one that probably could be burned like anywhere in your home. It's not too feminine, it's not too masculine. Now I know I'm not a huge jasmine person. For me, whatever reason, jasmine is kind of stinky to me. But if it's blended well, I might still like it, especially knowing the other notes with the citrus and the salty lemon and the white cedar. Like, that could be really pretty. It's one of those things that like I want to smell it, and I won't know until I do whether or not I'm gonna like it. And then finally, the last one is Caked Up, and this one has notes of roasted pistachio, musk, almond cream, and honey. It smells like cake pops, pistachio ice cream, toasty creamy vanilla bean. Like, come on. I want to eat them. They're candles, like, but they just sound like something you want to like stuff in your face. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Anyway, they all sound so lovely. I don't know that I could just like pick one to order because they all smell so good, and I want to like experience all of them. Fortunately, she is offering like a bundle pack if you do want to buy all 4 scents. So individually, the candles retail for $35, and the bundle of 4 is $125, which makes them $31.50 each. Now, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people that see $35 for a candle and are going to be like, that's kind of expensive. Especially if you're used to buying like the big Bath & Body Works 3-wick candles, which are like normally like 20 something dollars, but are almost always on sale for like 10 bucks. But there definitely is a big difference between candle brands that make like a really high quality luxury candle and Bath & Body Works. Bath & Body Works candles have a ton of throw, and they last for a decent amount of time because like the 3-wick candles are really big. But again, the ingredients in them are not quite as good. It's kind of like comparing all the rest of Bath & Body Works Bath & Body products to like a more high-end, clean Bath & Body brand. Now, if you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I've talked about Bijou Candles a bunch. They are like one of my absolute favorite indie candle brands. So for comparison, their candles are $31 for their 10.5 ounce votive sizes. Jackie's candles are 10 ounces for $35. So they are a little bit more expensive and they are a little bit smaller, but her candles come with a lid. The Bijou ones do not, so I'm sure that the manufacturing of the lids, you know, did increase the price a little bit. So I would say they're very, very comparable, or at Jackie's price point is very reasonable for the luxury candle sphere, because like that was kind of like the whole thing with the Bijou, is that they wanted to make a really luxury candle experience at a more affordable price point. Because when you look at like Diptyque and some of those other really high-end candles, they're like 60 something dollars a piece, which is, in my opinion, like kind of insane. So these Bijou candles have a 70-hour burn time. Jackie's have 65. These are 100% soy wax. They have cotton wicks. So I feel like quality-wise, deal-wise, very similar. So basically the point being that I think that Jackie priced her candles fairly for what they are. Also, as an aside, while we're talking about Bijou, they just launched 2 new collections that sound incredible. So they have the new Mystics collection just launched, I think like a day or so ago, and those are available in the 10.5 ounce sizes. And then they also launched an 80s icon collection, and those are in their tall votives. These are $39, but these burn for like 90 hours. I have a couple of these, and they truly do last for freaking ever and have tons of scent throw. So if you want like most bang for your buck, the tall votives are the way to go. And I picked up the Tina version. This is after Tina Turner. It smells so good, you guys. I cannot. They describe this as like the most sexy vanilla perfume scent, and that is 100% what this is. It's sweet, but it's got that like musky, warm undertone to it. It's just divine, and I haven't even burned this one yet. I've just kind of had it on my bookshelf, and as soon as I walk up the stairs, I can smell this. The cold scent throw on this is unreal. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I actually light it. So needless to say, I'm really excited for the launch of Forever Mood. I can't wait to see what else they come out with. I feel like the idea of a home fragrance brand is so refreshing. I'm so into it. And I'm not gonna lie, I am really tempted to buy the bundle set. Like $125 is a lot of money, but I haven't been buying really as much makeup or really doing anything lately. I mean, I've been spending money on the puppy. That's basically kind of been like my total focus in the last 3 weeks. But I feel like more so even than my spending $125 on beauty stuff, like I would actually get use out of these candles. I would burn them, I would enjoy them, I would clean out the jars and use them for other things later because they are really, really beautiful. They're like nice pastel colors and they have pretty little like marbly looking labels on them. So yeah, of everything in this video that I'm going to talk about, I feel like the Forever Mood candles are probably like at my top of the list of things to buy. So the next influencer brand that just recently launched is Desi by Desi Perkins. So it's Desi with a Z, and she is launching a line of sunglasses, which makes, again, complete and total sense. She had so much success with the collab she did with Key Australia. She launched all different kinds of sunglasses with them. So to me, it totally makes sense that she would go ahead and design her own sunglass brand. So there are 6 different frame styles available. Each one comes in a bunch of different color varieties, and the price range on these is like $75 to $85 depending on the pair. And let me just say, Desi looks so fierce. Like she is just the baddest bee in all of her promotional like photos and everything. She looks stunning. Desi is like one of those unbelievably gorgeous human beings that you're like, how do you even exist? And even though I feel like I don't have like any of those vibes in me, looking at her and like all of the models wearing her sunglasses, like it makes me want to be that. Like I want to slay like Desi can slay. You know what I mean? And while these are definitely, you know, not inexpensive sunglasses, I feel like, again, the price point makes sense for what she's launching, the level of quality, etc. So I feel like it's appropriate, especially knowing like how expensive the Key Australia sunglasses were when she did those collabs. So I have zero problem with the price. The biggest reason, well, I guess there are 2 reasons why I probably won't buy these. The first one is that I wear prescription sunglasses. I need glasses for distance. So, you know, usually when I'm wearing sunglasses is when I'm driving or when I'm outside. So those are the times where I need a prescription. Whereas like when I'm in the house and just kind of hanging around, like I don't wear my glasses all that often because I usually don't have to like see that far. So I would only really be able to get good use out of these sunglasses if I was also wearing contacts. And I just really haven't been wearing contacts that much this year. I actually need to get a contact lens fitting with my eye doctor, and I've kind of put off doing that because of the pandemic. So I just kind of feel like, I don't know if it necessarily makes sense for me to buy these right now. I mean, to be honest, I couldn't buy them right now even if I wanted to anyway, because they're all pretty much sold out. Like they sold out basically immediately. But theoretically, when they restock, I kind of have that concern. Like if she could make her glasses available where you could get prescriptions in the lenses, like that would be legit. I would be all about that. But the second kind of issue that I have or concern that I have is how they will fit and look on my face. I have a tiny head. I'm a tiny person, and I really, really struggle with glasses and frames. I have to try on like a million pairs when I go to the eye doctor to find ones that I actually like, because so many of them are so oversized and overwhelming on my face. And like, even though I feel like the oversized sunglass is a mood, like it's a look and a lot of people can really rock it, I feel like it's almost like wearing a shift dress or like certain kinds of more loose fitting clothing. Like there is a look where it's like, oh, this is kind of a loose fit. And then there's like a, oh, that's just too big and it doesn't fit me right. It's a subtle line to walk, but like you can tell when something is just not the right size for you. And that is my fear with these glasses, that they're going to be too big for my face and they're just not going to look right on me. They're not going to look like oversized in a cute way. They're gonna look oversized in a like, that's not right for your face kind of way. Finally, let's talk about One Size by Patrick Starr. So Patrick Starr has also come out with his own makeup brand, which I feel like kind of makes sense. It's about time. Patrick is one of the biggest influencers on the platform, and I do feel like he's generally pretty positive and generally stays out of drama. I don't really watch his videos, but obviously I know of him and he seems like a great person, so I have zero shade to throw towards Patrick Starr. That being said, I feel like seeing his initial launch of the brand, nothing really jumped out at me. I love the concept, one size, you know, it's sort of like makeup is one size fits all. I think that's very awesome and inclusive, so I do appreciate that. But the actual products themselves were kind of like, meh. So the first two things he launched were makeup wipes and a makeup removal spray, which I have tried to completely write off using makeup wipes in my skincare routine in general. They're really not good for your skin and they're wasteful. Like, I basically only have wipes when I receive them in PR from brands, and I use them to remove my swatches from when I'm doing like videos or Instagram posts. But I don't like to use them on my face anymore because they're just very irritating and they're not really good for your skin. And the makeup removal spray, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it will work, but honestly, I feel like a cleansing balm is probably just the most effective way to remove your makeup or a micellar water. So it feels a little gimmicky to me, like trying to reinvent the wheel, which I do applaud creativity, but I don't know how necessary that kind of product really is. And then he also launched an eyeshadow palette, some glitter eyeshadow toppers, and an eyeliner pen. And the palette seems neutral. It seems like, again, he wanted to do something that could be inclusive, that anybody could wear, but the shades, they don't speak to me. Again, if I had no knowledge of the fact that this was an influencer brand and I saw that palette on a shelf somewhere, I would have zero impulse to buy it. I don't gravitate towards it at all. It's just not a color story that speaks to me. So that kind of says like, I probably don't need to buy it. And while I do really love a good shimmery, glittery eye situation, I have so many of those types of products and I haven't been using them enough already as it is that I kind of feel like I don't need his glitter toppers. I almost feel like I'm in this phase of like glitter fatigue. It's not like I don't like glitter. I do enjoy the look of sparkles still, but I just haven't found myself being drawn towards buying those types of products lately. And eyeliner is eyeliner. I have plenty on hand as it is. I don't wear eyeliner every day, so again, it's not something that I'm like rushing to run out and try. So yeah, One Size Beauty, so far with their initial launch, really didn't have anything that I personally was interested in, but I hope the brand does well. It is being carried at Sephora, which I think is huge. Like, to launch right off the bat in Sephora stores will give him tons of exposure, so I'm sure the brand will do very well. But I think for me, I'm just going to hold off and wait, and we'll see if anything launches that I am more interested in the future. So let's move on now to some other existing brands that have some new stuff coming out. I'm sure you're all very curious as to hear my thoughts on the new Nabla Miami Lights collection, because I'm kind of a stan for Nabla. So this is a pretty big collection. They are launching a body glow product with a brush, which is very like 2019, I feel like, to me. Last year we saw a lot of like the body lava and the glow oil and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like this is a little late to the party, but regardless, they launched a body oil and a brush. And then they also launched new bronzing powders that are akin to their skin glazing highlights. So they're in very similar packaging to these, but they are bronzers. And I love this formula. I've raved about it so much. So I am very curious about the skin bronzing powders. I have a feeling they could be very similar to the new Kosas Sunshow moisturizing baked bronzers in the finish they'll give on the skin. So when I can get my hands on one of those bronzers, I'll have to test them out side by side and see how they compare. They did also launch new shades of these skin glazing highlights as well, both in more like blushy tones. They're pink. Even though I think of these as highlights, they're not actually like marketed as highlights because I feel like some of the shades are more blushes and some are more highlights, and they really just add this beautiful glow, this glass-like finish to the cheeks. So depending on whether or not you want something with more color or more of a highlight, you kind of have both options within the range. And these and the bronzers both retail for $24 and are available right now at Ulta, although the bronzers are basically almost all sold out. So hopefully when those restock, I'll be able to get my hands on one of them. They also launched a glitter palette, which again, I feel like is a little late. Like glitter feels very last year. We had this huge boom of glitter products. Everybody was into it. And I kind of feel like people are into more natural makeup right now. So I don't know how well this product is gonna do. It looks like the glitters in this are also very chunky. I don't know how eye safe they are. Now, you know, Nabla is an Italian brand, and the EU does have some different regulations when it comes to cosmetics than the FDA does here in the US. So maybe they're considered eye safe in Italy. I really have no idea. But for $25 for 4 glitter shades, for me, this is something that I'm just not interested in. Again, as much as I'm a sparkle person, I think the colors and the chunkiness of these, like, it just doesn't seem like a smart purchase to me personally. Then they launched some new shades of their Shine Theory lip glosses, as well as a new shade of their Cupid's Arrow, which are like their cream shadow sticks. So I do already have one of these Shine Theory lip glosses. I think this one I got last summer. I think that was when they originally launched this collection. And I will say, they are beautiful. The packaging on this is absolutely incredible, and the price is really not bad. These are $15 each at Ulta. The formula is a little on the thin side. It's not a real thick gloss. So if you don't like thick and gloopy, you may actually really enjoy these. To me, they almost have more of a texture of like a lip oil than a gloss. They do have a really beautiful shine to them. This particular shade has some gold shimmery particles in it, and it's quite sheer, so you're not gonna get like a ton of color payoff with any of the shades. But if you're just looking for something to like layer on as a topper over a lipstick, a lip liner, etc., I think these are really pretty. That being said, because I already have one, I really don't feel like I need to buy more. My lip gloss collection, as I mentioned before, it's kind of out of control, so I don't think I'm gonna buy any of these new shades. But I think if you have been kind of interested in the Shine Theory lip glosses, it is really nice to have more color options available to pick from. Speaking of new shades, M Cosmetics is also dropping new shades of their Color Drops serum blushes that do look beautiful. And they looks like they have some more pastel-y kind of shades, like a peachy one and a kind of more like violet purpley one. This is a really lovely formula. It's very dewy and like juicy looking on the cheeks. I feel like they're really easy to blend out and work with. This particular shade I have here is Sunset Sky, which is one of the more vibrant shades. But honestly, even this one, once it's really sheared out on the cheeks, it's like not too clowny. It just gives you a really youthful flush that's very, very pretty. So I think that, you know, if any of those new shades spoke to you and you like liquid and cream blush formulas, they're really nice for like light makeup days, no makeup kind of days. They're just really easy, and I feel like they just look a little bit softer and a little bit more natural sometimes than a powder blush does. So I do really enjoy this formula. I feel like I should be wearing this more than I have been. I just haven't been wearing makeup quite as often recently. They also are launching lip liners, which look absolutely beautiful. These are called the Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liners. I believe there are, I think, like 6 different shades available, and they retail for $19 each, which does feel kind of like a lot for a lip liner. So like, I don't know. I do really kind of want to try these because I really have enjoyed pretty much every single M Cosmetics product that I've tried. But I don't think I would like go out of my way to place an order just to buy one of these. This is the kind of thing that I think if I was going to be making a purchase of multiple products and like maybe I had a coupon code or there was a sale or something like that, I would try one of these. So I was wrong. There are 5 of them, not 6. And it looks like you can buy a set of all 5 with a case for $75. So if you think you'll get use out of all of the shades, that may be worth investing in, although that is a lot of money to spend on lip liner. But all the shades do honestly look beautiful. They're very neutral and kind of soft, again, which makes sense because soft velvet. There's no bright red, there's no berry, there are no deep tones. They're all kind of like nudes, neutrals, peaches, and pinks, which is honestly what I wear on my lips most of the time, she says as she's wearing a bright red lipstick. But yeah, I think if I had to choose for myself which colors spoke most to me, I would probably opt for Bunny, which is kind of more of a pink tone, or Kitten, which is kind of more of a like mid-toned peachy nude. I think those would match the best with most of the things that I have. What is curious to me is like, I know that their liquid lipsticks and their lip glosses all have like coordinating shades, but these lip liners are like totally different. So, you know, for example, as a person who's a huge fan of their Faded Clementine liquid lipstick and lip gloss, I don't know that any of these lip liners specifically would like pair really well with it because I don't have anything in that kind of orangey tone. So I'll be curious to see whether or not they ultimately add more, you know, shades to this. I'm also going to be curious to see like how long wearing they are, because when I hear soft blur, like I feel like comfortable and pretty and easy to work with, but I don't necessarily always think like super long wearing. So again, very curious about the formula. It does look beautiful, but I'm probably not going to purchase like right now. Something else new that I am curious about is the Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation. I haven't heard anybody really talk about this yet. I haven't seen any reviews. I don't know if PR just hasn't like hit the influencer community yet, or if just because I haven't been watching as much YouTube because I haven't had as much time, I've just missed them. But essentially, Too Faced is launching a matte version of their kind of like cult classic hero product, the Born This Way foundation. I do like this product. I do think it has a really beautiful finish on the skin. It's satiny. It's kind of like that nice medium coverage where it evens everything out, but it doesn't look too mask-like. My biggest issue with Born This Way is just that it's not as oil controlling as I always need. Like, this works better for me in the winter than in the summer when I am super oily. So I haven't been getting as much use out of this as per late, which, you know, makes the matte version really appealing because I usually tend to gravitate as a person with oily skin towards matte foundations, and I generally have really liked Too Faced complexion products. Like the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation is one of my holy grails. I love this so much. I feel like it wears beautifully on me. I really like their Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, like the Born This Way setting powder, the Peach setting powder, all of them have been fantastic for me. So that does give me high hopes for this new foundation. It is kind of expensive. It's $40, whereas, I mean, I guess this one is $39, so similar in price point, but still kind of up there. And it comes in exactly the same expanded shade range as the original Born This Way. So there are 35 shades, and the gradient of light, medium, and deep tones is fairly balanced. Now, from what I can see, this is available at Sephora right now, but I haven't seen it on the Ulta website yet. So I don't know when I'm going to pick this up. I have a ton of foundation that I probably should be using because, again, I have not been wearing makeup enough recently to really like go through my collection. So this is the kind of thing that, like, if it comes to Ulta and I do a haul with points, I might throw it in my cart and buy it to try it out. And then let's wrap things up with good old Colourpop, because there's always new Colourpop to talk about. So Colourpop just recently launched this Wild Nothing collection that's kind of like desert themed. The color story of the packaging and everything is super beautiful, very soft neutral tones with some greens and pinks thrown in there. Like, really pretty. Love the aesthetic. However, I do have some issues with this collection. So first of all, the eyeshadow palette I feel like looks like exactly the same thing as the She's Got Solstice palette that they launched with Ulta earlier this year, but like plus a few shades, because this is a 12-pan palette where the She's Got Solstice was a 9-pan palette. And that suspicion was pretty well confirmed when I saw Amanda, Makeup Just for Fun, review this collection over on her YouTube channel, and she did swatch comparisons of the eyeshadow palette from the Wild Nothing collection against a bunch of other palettes in her collection, and I feel like shade for shade, it looked like almost an exact dupe of She's Got Solstice. And here is the thing. I mentioned this when I originally talked about the She's Got Solstice palette in this series a couple months ago. I feel like that palette really like missed the mark as far as the color story went. Like, it was a beautiful palette, but the exterior packaging suggested that it could have been so much more unique and colorful. Like, they didn't pull in any of the blues or purples from the exterior packaging that I think made it so visually appealing. So I feel like the color story in that palette really is more appropriate for this new Wild Nothing collection, because it does have some slightly more saturated tones than the Wild Nothing does. And then the Wild Nothing palette, I feel like, again, could have pulled in more of the greens and the pinks than they did in that palette. Like, it's very neutral, which is fine, it's wearable, but it seems kind of very flat in tone. It doesn't seem like it would work well on people with deeper skin, which I feel like in the current climate is not the smartest launch. So yeah, there was nothing about this that really excited me. I feel like the Colourpop palettes that I already have, like I have California Love and Sweet Talk, which were launches I think from 2019 or 2018. And those are great, and I feel like the shades are very similar to what I'm seeing in this palette, so like it doesn't make sense for me to buy it. I don't really need it. They also launched, along with the eyeshadow palette, a ton of other products. They launched some new Luxe lip oils. The packaging on those looks absolutely freaking stunning. But I feel like it's hard with Colourpop. You need to not be tempted by the adorable packaging. Like, you really need to think about whether or not the product inside is something you need or will like, because the packaging is very enticing, and I feel like it can easily kind of distract you and swindle you into making unsavvy purchases. So there are those. They also launched cream eyeshadows, which seem kind of like they're akin to the MAC paint pots. Although I feel like I saw Temptalia review them and she seemed to really not like them. I guess the formula looked really dry and textured on her eyelids, although some other people are really enjoying them. So verdict is out there on the cream shadows. It would be really nice to have an affordable alternative to the MAC paint pots. So I'll be curious to see a little bit more on those and whether or not they're worth picking up. And then they also launched a bunch of different blushes and new Jelly Much eyeshadows. So while I am really happy to see that Colourpop is back in production, because they were shut down for a while at the beginning of the pandemic, this particular collection is not anything that I feel like I need to buy something from. I do, again, think all the packaging is really cute, but I'm trying not to be swayed by it. So I think we're gonna just pass over the Wild Nothing. However, I am really excited about the freckle pens. I'm not gonna lie. They did launch 2 of these freckle pens and I really want to try them. I really love the faux freckle trend. I've been wearing them a lot when I have been wearing makeup. I feel like they are so cute for summertime. And I definitely go back and forth with like my methods as far as what I use to create them. Sometimes I use a brow pencil. Sometimes I'll use like a brown toned matte eyeshadow on a really, really tiny fine pointed brush. But I haven't really found anything that I feel like is like the thing yet, like the perfect thing. So this could be excellent. Sometimes I do like to use the ink stain side of the brow blade from Urban Decay, but I feel like because I have such a dark shade, I have dark drapes because I have dark eyebrows, it can be a little bit too much. So I feel like this freckle pen could be like the perfect in-between where you're able to get that kind of more translucent, natural looking freckle finish, but the shade itself is more real to a freckle. All right, you guys, so I think that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed hearing about all these new beauty launches, I hope you will consider giving this video a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support so much. Definitely leave a comment and let me know if you are planning on picking any of these things up or if you've already picked them up. What do you think of them? And again, stay tuned for an anti-haul from me because I'm not done yet talking about new launches, and there are some things that I kind of want to roast a little bit, so that'll be coming your way in the near future. I also just filmed a like trying new makeup video, so that is also on its way. And yeah, on that note, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.